If you collect watches, this video is for you. Make sure you watch this whole video because at the very end, there is the most important post out of all of them. These are real questions on the internet that we're going to go through, and some of them are very interesting because most people are thinking or asking themselves these questions. These are just the guys that have gone out and used platforms like Reddit and even Pistonheads forums, stuff like that, to talk about their watch insurance or what they should be doing or shouldn't be doing. Question number 1, UK-based insurance advice. Purchased a stunning Yachtmaster Oyster 42mm yellow gold. House insurance won't go near this. Any suggestions? It's part of a collection, circa 7 watches worth around 50 to 55,000 pounds, but this one cost me 28,450. Trying to find someone willing to insure it. Any help would be gladly received. This is a common thing with home insurance. Bog standard home insurance does not like high value items. He's got 50 to 55,000 pounds worth of watches. This one is 28,000. He might only have 50,000 of general contents at his house. 28,000 for a watch, absolute no-go for home insurers. You need to be looking for a specialist insurer or scheme that is dedicated to doing high value items. Collection cover is that. Next question. Watch insurance in the UK is the title. Hi all, can anyone advise on some decent providers of watch insurance in the UK? Is it best to get via home and contents insurance or something more specialist? Well, the first answer to that is home contents insurance. The bloke before had a problem with that, so don't go that route. Or something more specialist, yes, go that route. I would go with just my home insurance, but I have a feeling they won't cover accidental damage outside the house. Interesting point. Or would want to cover all contents in the house and not just the watch. Okay, so this bloke or woman doesn't even have home contents insurance. So if you have home contents insurance, you do stand a little chance of getting your watches added to it. If you don't have any insurance, you're mad. You're never going to get your watches added to it. So yes, you'll need contents insurance if you want to add watch insurance. They won't just do buildings and watches. Or maybe they don't even own the building and just watches. So home insurance wouldn't do that. And accidental damage outside the house, interesting point. Does he mean loss? Like most companies will cover if you pay the home insurance for them to insure the watch outside of the house for accidental damage, i.e. you knock it on a wall or break it or something and you need it repaired. Yeah, that's sort of standard sort of stuff. Accidental loss is different, especially when it comes to mysterious disappearance, because if you just don't know where your watch has gone, most insurers will say, sorry, that's not covered, you've been too reckless. So accidental damage outside the house, most insurers will cover it. Collection cover definitely covers it, as well as loss. Next question, let's make sure we got the right one. Yep, home insurance UK. We're still on the home insurance. A lot of people are talking about home insurance with this stuff. Hi, does anyone have home insurance suggestions to cover watches and high value precious metals in and out of the home? Most seem to have high value content limit, e.g. 50,000. The best I can find is £400 per annum for 3 Rolexes and some gold coins, but value is above 50. I currently have RAC cover, but they're no longer offering home contents insurance. I also have a safe deposit box. Safe deposit box is a really good place to start if you just don't have insurance and can't be bothered, which you're mad if you do. But essentially, home insurance, as we've established, they cap out at certain limits with high value items. They don't like it when there's high value items on there, and they'll put a ceiling limit on it. And also, they don't like it when there's an imbalance. If you've got 50,000 of home contents, but 100,000 of jewelry or watches, it's not gonna happen. So you can ignore that. You'll be barking up the wrong tree if you're trying to put high value stuff on home contents and your high value stuff is worth more than your contents. Let's have a look. This is an interesting one. So this is one from Pistonheads. I've been having a nightmare with Nationwide. Maybe a lot of lenders have home insurance because the lender sells you home insurance. Then you come a cropper when it comes to high value stuff, because even lenders and their home insurance are not suitable for high value items. I've been having a nightmare with Nationwide, took policy out in June this year, and a month later they requested I get an up-to-date valuation done. A few £100 later, I sent the certificate through, then they wanted the far end of a smelly thing about my locks, windows, etc. I told them we had a safe bolted to my concrete floor and anything not worn is kept in the safe. Then they wanted all the safe details. It's a Chubb safe, about 10 years old, so pretty new, good quality, but we are now approaching November and they are still looking into it and needs to be referred up to their underwriters again. I'm scared to tell them I'm about to pull the pin on another Rolex, so looking for a standalone policy for myself, or if Nationwide kick off again, which safe I could buy that would truly satisfy them and inflation-proof them, so to speak. As I may add bits and bobs of jewellery over the years to come. Just waiting for Nationwide to come back to me with it's been a long 5 months. 5 months? Nationwide have taken 5 months to get back to a customer who want to talk to them about insuring items on their home insurance. What? Okay, valuations. This is an interesting one. It's the first time it's come up. Valuations Valuations are needed because they're your items and you should be valuing them. Getting them valued by a professional anyway, so that you are protected by your home insurance or your standalone watch insurance. Because valuations are the only way that you can prove to your insurer that you have done what you need to do to get the proper value and therefore insuring it for that amount so that the insurance amount and the valuation amount match and you'll get paid out in the event of a loss. If you do not have valuations, the insurer can't prove the value for you. It's not down to them. The insurer can only pay on what they deem to be the value, whether that's what you've insured it for, which might be wrong or too little, or what they determine to be the market value. Now, there's a blog on our site, and we've probably done videos on this, I'm pretty sure, about agreed value and market value. You want agreed value, but you want it to be the market value. So there's a bit of complication here about how people understand what these terminologies mean. And it is a little bit confusing, I'll give you that. But if you have a valuation, the value is a market price valuation and it can be agreed by the insurer. So that's what you need to do. This bloke's having a nightmare and it's taken Nationwide 5 months to even talk to him. Anyway, excuse the language in this one, we'll move on. This post says, buy a safe and beep to the insurance, they will never pay out anyway. Well, the point here is the person below disagrees. They will. I insured a £2,000 ring ages ago that they valued at £4,000, had a chance to save £2,000 cash back or order a £4,000 ring with their partner. Now, these are relatively low values, and this is what generally happens when you've got a home insurance policy with lowish values. These items haven't hit the single item limit within the policy, so they don't need to be specified. And they've got cover if it was a £4,000 ring or a £2,000 ring. So he just got lucky here. Really, this person should be saying, I'm going to note everything I've got on my policy and keep up to date with the valuations so that it's always up to date. Now, people turn around, like brokers, insurers turn around and say, get a valuation every 3 to 5 years. Rubbish to that. Like, you should be doing this regularly. Like, if you have high value watch insurance, just work with someone that can give you a valuation every few months and then adjust your policy accordingly. On collection cover, you can go online, you can buy insurance today, you can adjust it tomorrow, you can adjust it in a month, you can adjust it in 6 months, do whatever you like, whenever you want, because it's fully digital. This gets over that issue. Number 11 I want isn't interested, number 12 is in America, number 13, this screenshot number 13, this is an interesting point because it talks about in safe limit and also what some people would call a wearing limit. How to keep your watches safe? A serious question. I assume anyone with a sizable watch collection, in terms of dollars, let's say pounds, not watches, has a watch rotation. You can only wear one watch at a time, so how do you keep your other expensive watches in the rotation safe when they're not on your wrist? Let's address that point quickly before we move to the second paragraph. Yes, this is exactly what collection cover is designed for. There says in safe, we have the ability for you to personalize your policy when you get to the quote screen. That says how much of your collection of jewelry or watches do you want to insure in the safe at any one time. Therefore, the remainder is insured out of the safe at any one time. It's not item specific. So if you have £100,000 of watches and you only ever need £25,000 of watch cover when you wear a watch outside the safe or home, you can put £75,000 worth of watches in your safe and reduce your premiums substantially so that you're only covered for wearing £25,000 worth of watches, which could be 1 watch, 2 watch, 3 watches, whatever. And the rest of it is covered when it's in the safe. Mean if you're robbed or you lose it when you're out of the house, you're covered up to 25,000. And if you are burgled at home and they steal the safe, you are covered for all of it because the worldwide cover includes the in safe. So you'll have cover for all of those items in the safe and any you have out of the safe. So that is what they call watch rotation. We call it an in-safe limit. You can tailor the policy however you need. His second paragraph made me chuckle. I store mine in a watch box in a dresser. He means a cupboard, I believe. It seems extremely reckless in a way. A cleaner or nanny or handyman could nick them. The insurance has a watch deductible and it only covers up to purchase price rather than replacement cost. Whoa, there's loads going on here. This guy's a nutter. Right, storing them in a dresser, you're stupid. You need to store them in a proper safe that's adequate for your collection. We sell safes. Go to buysaxon.com/security and you'll be able to buy a safe that's adequate for your collection. It's crystal clear what you need to buy there. It gets fitted for you as well. A cleaner or nanny or handyman could nick them. Well, this guy's obviously got loads of people going in and out of his house all the time. The answer is yes. And most policies won't cover if there's not evidence of forced or violent entry. So if a nanny comes in and just swipes them, then there's no cover. Like, he is not reading his insurance policy correctly. So the insurance has a per watch deductible. Okay, per watch deductible, not per claim or loss deductible. That means if he loses 5 watches stupidly because he's left them in the dresser, then actually he's getting a deductible on every single watch. I don't know, it could be £1,000 each time. Like, there could be, 10,000 or 5,000. Anyway, that's a bit different. They do it differently in America, so this is an American Post. And it only covers up to purchase price rather than replacement cost. Purchase price, replacement cost, yes. This is what we're talking about, agreed values, market values, or purchase price and market values, these kind of things. So all of these terminologies become a bit grey to the public like you guys. And the purchase price means he's bought a watch from, let's say, Rolex, and it's £10,000. He's only insured for that amount. If that item goes missing, not if someone just steals it out of a dresser, but if he loses it or whatever, then that watch is more likely worth more than £10,000. It could be worth £15,000 the day he buys it. He needs a valuation so that that's the true market price of that item. Once he has a valuation for that item, he can get the agreed value. So the blogs I was talking about earlier are actually not agreed value versus market value. You want them to be working together on those things, but more about purchase price versus replacement or market value. They're the blogs that you want to be looking for on our site. Okay, 14 and 15 work together. This actually is a very good question because I'm sure there are hundreds of thousands of people out there who just think, I've got a safe, I don't need insurance. So let's have a look into this. Watch safe or insurance is the question. Hi all, maybe somewhat random question here, insurance or a watch safe. I was quoted $3,000 a year here in the UK, or I buy a good solid safe for £800. Any advice should be appreciated. Sensible answer coming up. Buy both. Insure your watches and keep them in the safe in the meantime. Yes, a safe is not going to cover your watches if you're wearing it on the street and get mugged. Yes, safe's only going to protect the watch when you're not wearing it. Yes. I don't know how it works in the UK. Okay, on the right track though, but in the US, I added mine to my insurance policy, which covers my home and cars. It's pretty reasonable, and all I needed was proof of purchase or an appraisal. This is their version of evaluation. Comment further down, agreed, this is the way. 100%, the comment further down, 100%, a safe does not replace insurance. Yes, this exactly why I do. exactly what I do is meant to say. I use named items as well, as it makes potential claims easier. Yes, finally, we've got to a post where there's 4 sensible people on it. Right, this means there is 0 risk to you. You've invested or inherited or got a lot of money in these items. Do not take any risk. You need to have an adequate safe and security at your house, meaning everything you own that you want insured on a watch insurance policy needs to go into that safe. And whenever you leave with an item on you being worn or on holiday, you need insurance for when you leave, because this guy says the safe does not cover you when you're out of the house. Exactly. And back to my point earlier, a safe covers all of your items at home and they're insured at home. And when you have the in safe and out of safe limit, you are insured when you're out of the safe as well. So that's it. That's a wrap. This is the most sensible one. Thank you for watching this video. As you know, Collection Cover is a fully 100% digital insurance platform for watches and other collectibles. You don't have to just insure watches, you can insure everything else that is collectibles on there. You can get a quick quote in 60 seconds, 50 actually, 50 seconds, we did it the other day, and you can get a you can buy your policy in just minutes. You don't need to worry about 5 months of an insurer getting back to you with Collection Cover.